Not sure if you can hear, but there's so much water flowing you can even hear the water flowing. Yeah. And I think it's nothing but warmer in our future. The only bright side is most of what drains down through here, I think, is melted off. I dug this little trench intentionally with the blade on the tractor to try to keep it from rolling down in there. I missed a little bit, but equally trying to balance making a giant ditch versus something that I can cover up semi-quickly. Did the same over here. Went more on the giant side. I'm annoyed at myself with how close I got to that post, but at least the pool back there is slightly shallower. Luckily, I brought this up here to stand up, because who knew I needed hay forks to lean it against, but otherwise trying to balance the tank on the end that both ends have plugs or openings on. Turns out to be kind of difficult, but yay for really heavy hay forks. So the idea is slide my forks kind of around it. I'm hoping I can rest the feet on the top of the fork stuff, the fork bracket somehow, chain it to it, and lift all that up, take it down to the hose, fill it up there, and I took this off for now because I'm sure I'd break it off. I got me a little stem with a grease on the end and a 300-pound gauge. I don't know if it'll be tonight because I'm assuming once the sun goes down it'll be cold as crap like usual, and potentially spraying water on myself doesn't sound fun, so I might just get it set up for tonight. I'll scrap it today and call it a night and try to pressure test tomorrow. Okay, I think I have just the right amount of hokiness going on that I think I should be able to get it tested tomorrow. Oh yeah, have to get the full effect. Tip of the fork is held by the hay forks. Don't have to worry about bending that thing. And since pretty much everything bleeds off eventually on this front end loader, put the jack there just to make sure it didn't do anything silly. I don't like that, but I couldn't think of a better place to go. I suppose I could have come straight around to there, but we're there now. I'm trying to be careful. I'm tightening up this top binder just enough to pinch it against this board and such. I'm trying to make sure I don't punch the bottom with that, because the tender underbelly is where the rust probably is, and means the tank's probably weakest. I guess that's one way to check, but that's not my intention at the moment. And I figure as long as I keep the fork tip pointed down, we should be okay. And the more I think about it, I'm probably not going to drive around with this. I don't think I want to do it right here, which is funny because this thing fills with water, as I've showed you many times. But I'll probably just back up a little bit, and we have enough hoses to run to the pigs up there, so this is the same distance. So I'll probably just back out to where the water will run out of the bird poop shop, which I've decided to call it now. And pressure test it tomorrow. That's the hope. Should have enough room. Oh, it's on the other side. To hook up my little tester contraption, which just screws onto that 1/8 inch NPT nipple, 300-pound gauge. I think I'm only going to go to 250 or so. We'll see if the grease gun thing idea works. Coincidentally, I got a new one of these, and I happen to have found, I ordered a 200, and I happen to have found that this guy is also a 200, so that makes me feel better. A little bit of me wanted to leave it in and see if it blew off, but then I'd just be annoyed that I couldn't get to 250, so I took it out. So that bolts on, also known as screws on there. Oh, the green strap is just for looks. I just used it to hold it up there for a minute while I got the chain on, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. And all this is draining out here. Looks like I'm still leaking into the barn a little bit, but on the bright side, my barn drain seems functional. Yep. It's kind of neat watching it go under the snow. Maybe only neat to me. But I think that is flood update for this week, today, whatever it ends up being. Hope it doesn't wash the baler away. Okay, as you probably might have just seen, I think tank's full of water. My hokey little pump contraption's hooked up. My grease gun leaks like a sieve. But I think it's about as completely full of water as you could possibly get. Because basically the more air in there, the more of my leaky grease gun water I have to get in there to squish the air to get pressure up. So the theory being, if there's nearly no air, then it won't compress and just takes a little bit of liquid to fill it. And I guess if you don't know, the idea being liquid doesn't compress, or water doesn't compress as much as air, and or the tank expanding is also a concern for basically making how much energy is stored in the tank when you put 250 pounds of water in it, water pressure versus 175 of air. Well, I did not have a lot of faith in that to begin with how leaky and everything all that mess was. So, between the Harbor Freight Gun being a Harbor Freight Gun and not really feeling like it's doing a whole lot, the grease gun tip appears to be leaking a fair amount. I don't think I'm losing pressure from anywhere else, so it dawned on me, instead of the big pressure washer that I've got, somewhere I have a little Honda 5-horse that would be a lot smaller, quicker, easier to drain. Little pressure washer. Hooked up. Surprisingly, I put gas in it and it started. That was kind of crazy. Had a spinner tip, really cool tip that cleans really well. Anyway, luckily it had threads, and I think it's some sort of filter that goes into the spinny part. Sadly, I took apart, I don't know, I'm hoping it's just leaking out of there. Maybe it is. Yeah, maybe I'll get lucky. Anyway, I'm afraid that's leaking, which will stink. But the theory is hook gun up to there, squeeze trigger really quick, because, well, you can read right there, that goes to 2700 psi. I only want this to about 250, so I'll probably try to bleed a little bit more water out of that valve real quick, and hope we don't make a big mess. Didn't think that through. With a way to hold this so I could look around. Whoops. So I would say we're every bit of 280 or so. So that gives me a decent amount of extra room. I'm gonna gamble that I don't break something off by letting that down very gently. Which also means I probably will have to try to not trip on it, because that will make me very sad when I rip it off. We'll go clear around back here. On the bottom, where most of the rust and stuff should be, nothing is oozing, letting go. Theoretically, I should let that stay a while and watch the pressure. That guy's not leaking. I guess I should actually read what the pressure is if I want to check it again, huh? 10, 15, 20, 25? No. What kind of weird spacing did they put on their numbers? It's not 5. 7-ish? Anyway, just over 2 ticks under 300. But equally, I don't know that I'm going to worry a whole lot about it holding there for a long time, because I have no idea how well the trigger is the only valve holding the pressure in there. I don't know how well that's holding. So, a lot of words to say. I'm pretty happy with what we got, assuming it doesn't pop here in the next couple minutes, seconds, or some such. So I might set like a 5-minute timer or something. Alright, I set a 10-minute alarm, and if anybody knows how patient I am, you'll know that it's about 50 seconds from the alarm going off, so I just canceled it and figured by the time I get done goofing around here, we'll be good. Yeah, that's pretty stinking cool. It was just a touch over that tick mark where it's at, but I was gonna tell you, surprised I don't know that I care if it's dropped very much. The bigger thing is no strange water leaks or anything else scary. So I think now this is the fun part of that I didn't say before. I didn't really think of a way to drain it. I figured worst case I'll just leave that, let that bottom thing little drain the actual air compressor drain for a while. And the other crappy part is I'm pretty sure I'm going to take a shower, because while it will release its pressure quickly, and not like keep spraying like air would, it's going to be a lot of pressure. So, I'll probably cheat and whack the valve with a board or something. There, that's my hope. I could take the pressure wand off, but then that would just shoot me in the pencil area, and seems like I might get slightly less wet from the top. Let's find out. I guess I have this pipe wrench. It's for plumbing, right? Shouldn't walk downwind, probably. That valve's barely open, but that's quite a bit more compression or tank stretch, whichever it was, than I would have guessed. Alright, fun's over. Figure out how to drain it and all that stuff, get it back in the shop, and I think I'm probably gonna try to strip, or at least rough most of it up and put some sort of paint on it. I don't know. I guess we'll all find out together. One more real quick update. The sun or whatever is shining on this to where I can actually read the sticker. It says max working pressure is 200 pounds. Max temp. Well, okay, so I can't read all of the things, but I can read some of the things. Oh yeah, the year built, 1950. So that's kind of neat. Really stinking old. Hopefully somewhere along it's, what is that, 50, 60, 70, 75 years? Somebody took care of it. I will say, these plugs, all around the thing, if they didn't add extra metal on the inside or something, that tank is ridiculously thick, like well over a quarter. Maybe I'll try to get something to feel with and see, but like how that one has extra metal, yeah, these guys don't, and they are super thick. It's kind of cool. So anyway, 1950s tank. Hopefully they made them good back then. No doubt better than what's today. And that's my theory. That's my hope. We'll find out.